like a secret between the lines. Smoke curls slowly in the darkness, ash falls silent to the floor. One last ember in the shadow, burning like it did before. He said the deal was simple, just a case and midnight run. Meet me where the street light flickers and be gone before the sun. But the air felt wrong that evening, even rain refused to fall. And the silence in the distance felt like someone made a call. Footsteps echoed down the pavement, engines idling in the lane. Two dark figures by the corner, standing quiet in the rain. One of them just watched the skyline, one of them just watched the door. Nobody was talking anymore. Last cigarette burning slow, smoke rising where the truth won't go. Neon flickers through the night, shadows dancing in the light. Last cigarette fading red, whispers hanging overhead. One last breath before the fall, one last echo in the hall. Sirens sleeping in the distance, like they knew what came too late. Broken glass beside the sidewalk, like a witness at the gate. Someone dropped a silver lighter, someone kicked it to the ground. And the glow of that small ember was the only light around. Every city has its secrets, every deal its hidden cost. Every quiet midnight meeting leaves another story lost. Hands were shaking in the darkness, eyes were fixed on something more. Nobody was sure what for. Last cigarette burning slow, smoke rising where the truth won't go. Streetlights bending the rain, every shadow knows the game. Last cigarette fading red, ghosts of words that were never said. Every lie begins the same, just another midnight flame. Somewhere far beyond the skyline, someone listens to the call. Every crime becomes a whisper, every whisper grows too small. Maybe truth was in a suitcase, maybe truth was in a gun. Maybe truth was just a moment that disappeared before the sun. Ash keeps falling in the silence, wind keeps pushing through the street. And the sound of fading footsteps echoes slowly with the beat. Final hope. Last cigarette burning slow, smoke rising where the truth won't go. One last spark against the sky, one last reason not to lie. Last cigarette glowing low, stories only shadows know. When the ember fades away, night forgets another day. Creeping through the skyline, engine starting far below. But the smoke that rose at midnight still remembers what we know. Ash dissolves into the gutter, rain begins to softly fall. Somewhere in the waking city, nobody remembers it at all.
Radio's dead again.
silence is better taste. Dead signals in the stereo line, broken towers out of time, baseline thick like desert sand, pulling slow across the land. She's drawing maps and cigarette smoke, each one ending in a joke. Dashboard glowing tired gold, engine humming stories old. Streetlight halos smear the glass, ghost towns drifting as we pass. Every mile a quiet dare, floating through the desert air. The snare snaps thin like winter bone, synth pads hum a violet tone. Somewhere far a siren bends through the dark where the highway ends. She says maybe nothing's real after midnight behind the wheel. I say maybe truth just sleeps while the city softly creeps. Every wire above the road carrying an unseen code. Every rhythm in the night moving just beyond the light. Dead signals in the air, dead signals everywhere. Every broken radio singing things we shouldn't know. Dead signals in the lane, dead signals in the rain. Every bass note drifting wide keeps the darker thoughts inside. Dead signals in the sky, dead signals drifting by. Every mile the speakers say, let the quiet have its way. Truck stop glowing toxic green, coffee burnt and magazine. Someone arguing near the door about a war nobody's for. She buys gum and cheap red wine, says disaster tastes divine. I say optimism's rare, she says sarcasm's just despair. Back inside the engine hum, night returning like a drum. Guitar whispers thin and dry through the desert's open sky. The groove keeps walking slow and calm, like a saint without a psalm. Every mile a darker rhyme, written softly out of time. Somewhere dawn prepares its light, painting pale across the sky. But the night still owns the lane, and the baseline knows our name. Signals die, but echoes don't. Dead signals through the frame, dead signals without name. Every fading frequency sounds like hidden poetry. Dead signals in the glow, dead signals running low. Every mile the night repeats through the vinyl of the streets. Dead signals drifting far, dead signals where we are. Every quiet undertone turns the highway into home. Radio still dead, perfect. Now we can hear the road think.